Hey, good day, everybody. It's your man Dame DNYDC. Two mics up business corner. Today we're going to talk about 5 ways that you can achieve your goals in 2023. Look, we're already in March, people. A third of the year has already come, and we probably haven't really even begun to scratch the surface for some of us, on achieving the goals that we set for ourselves in 2023. Now, you probably ask, and I've asked this before, what separates people who achieve their goals from those who don't? I've sat down, preparing for this, reading different articles and papers, and I've come to understand that there are really 2 obstacles. One is not believing, we can achieve our goals, but the second one is not identifying the pathways to be able to achieve them or complete them, right? So, like, maybe one of the greatest examples that I can think of is our massive tendency as people to set and abandon New Year's resolutions, right? We all, have these great resolutions for the New Year's. But at the same time, on the flip side of that is we spend 80% of our time basically canceling ourselves before February. So think about it, December 31st, all these plans, all these resolutions, but by the time February comes, 80% of us have already canceled on ourselves before February, right? So I want to go a little further and really share some experience where, having worked with and observed, all types of employees, for the last, 15, 20 years, as a successful leader myself, what I can attest to is that I've never met a high performer who has not used a thoughtful strategy to achieve their goals. Now, if you're committed to seeing, your goals through to completion, I've got some tactics right here that I'm going to share with you. These 5 tactics that can help you or your clients, or if you're watching this, help you reach your goals, right? And these have been successful over the years, right? So the first one and the first way is connect every goal to a why. Achieving goals become easier when they're meaningful, right? And they're connected to a reason or purpose, if you will, your why. When you connect your goal to a why, a few things are going to happen. One, you become more focused, on that goal itself, right? It eliminates distractions or other tasks that are not in alignment, with your desired outcome. The second thing, when you connect every goal to a why, is your vision and your ideas become a whole lot clearer. It's more like a aha moment, because now you're able to, outline it, understand it, and communicate, because you've intentionally focused on the reason you want to do something and how it will impact you, whether it be personally or in your business, right? The third, reason or third point as to why you want to connect every goal to a why is it becomes easier for you to decide what you should and should not be doing, because your priorities are connected to a purpose now. You've outlined them, you've connected, all the dots, you've dotted your I's, crossed your T's. Now you're connected to a purpose, right? The fourth point as to why you want to connect every goal to a why, you start to understand what's most important to you in your life and your career. This again brings back the moment of clarity and meaning. It's very important. And one of the ways that I use this, or to help you kind of better understand what I'm talking about, to figure out the why behind, what you set, right? I use this type of statement, or is what they call a simple statement, if you will. I want to blank so I can blank. So for me, mine might look like, I want to build a profitable business so I can retire early and spend time doing the things that I love, right? So the why is having, time and resources to do the things I love, and not necessarily earning more money, right? So these things are important, but you want to use that, I want to, so that I can, right? Then once you've established and connected every goal to a why, the second point, or the second way to achieve your goals in 2023, is to break down your goals, right? So like one of these, think about this and listen to this. I need to read 50 books this year, or I need to read 3 pages every day, right? I need to read 50 books this year, or I need to read 3 pages every day. Which one sounds easier to you? When we're looking at one major goal, right? No matter what business you're in or whatever it is that you're doing, we tend to see it as one action, one solo action. Often we become overwhelmed and put it off until a later date, right? Because I need to read 50 books this year. All right, I'm gonna get to it. It's a lot. Instead, what we need to do and learn how to do is break that one major goal, break it down into smaller, tangible, bite-sized pieces, right? And do one thing every day. That'll help you get closer to your goal, right? So when I say I need to read 50 books every day, that's a huge, man. That's a 24-pound or 24-ounce steak. You'd be sitting there for days. But if you break it down to I need to read 3 pages every day, that's an ounce steak, bite-sized portion. That's more palatable and it's easier to do, right? So I encourage you to work on your goal. And what I like to think of is like if you're in track, like a 90-day sprint, break it down to small goals. So if you think of it that way, that's like 90 opportunities to make that goal happen. So for instance, let's go back to what I was talking about in the beginning about reading 50 books this year. That's roughly one book every week. And that's still a challenge with our schedules, right? But for a 90-day sprint, we want to aim for completing 10 books in that time. So, you know what I'm saying? We've broken that down. In 90 days, we're doing 10 books. It's a little bit more achievable, right? It's a little bit smaller than when you think about 50 in 1 year, one a week. So just kind of play around with that and kind of try to work to change your mindset to break your goals down into smaller, bite-sized, tangible pieces. The third point I want to share with you in the ways to achieve your goals here in 2023, work on removing obstacles before you even begin. So this one is a little more detail, right? But before starting on your goal, ask yourself, what could prevent me from accomplishing this goal, right? Identify and write down your potential obstacles, excuses, and or fears that you may have when you're dealing with this, right? Then decide or think about how you're going to sit down and work to navigate through these fears and these obstacles. By writing down your barriers, right? What you're doing is you're eliminating so much of that fear's power, right? Because it's really the power of that fear that's really stopping you. So by writing it down helps to eliminate or alleviate some of that power. Now, this has been proven in research, which knows that when you put worrisome or anxiety type inducing thoughts on paper, you offload them and free up space in your mind, right? And that's really positive. Now you're taking on a positive. You're turning that negative energy into a positive energy. Goals that are specific and result in permanent life shifts, such as reading every day, working out, or eating healthier, require intentional adjustments. So you have to intentionally commit to making a daily adjustment to complete these tasks or these goals, or even to meet these goals, right? So by writing down the barriers you expect to encounter beforehand, I can't find the time. It's going to cost me a lot of money. How am I going to fit this in? This may help you also recognize, how you can take control or work to take control of some of the things that sit in the back of your mind that are out of your control. So I'm going to give you an example. let's say you pretending that you want to take a certification course while doing your full-time job, which many of us do. Your obstacles may be budget. Maybe you don't have enough money right now, or you don't have the money, or you don't see the money, or you feel like you don't have enough time. Start then by looking at the expenses that you have, and that may be something that you can cut. That will, I don't want to say cut, or maybe sacrifice is a better word. Look for something that you can sacrifice temporarily to free up money that you can now invest into this certification course. Can you cut maybe a monthly subscription? We all have different apps and things that we like to play around in our spare time. Maybe can you cut that to use that to go towards your certification course? Is it a streaming service? I don't know, just throwing it out there. But you have to sit down and look at your budget, because there might be something in there that you can use towards fulfilling or completing that certification. These things really, by kind of removing obstacles before you begin, helps you realize that on the surface you're really worrying about things that maybe are financial or time constraining, but you're really trying to work towards building something for yourself, for your future, maybe for your family, financial success, whatever. But you have to take it out of your head, put it on paper, so that you can really look at it and break it down to remove obstacles and set yourself up for success. This is going to be unique to everyone, because identifying this early on will help keep you on track. So all of us have different situations, financial, whatever it may be, but you want to identify these early on, remove these obstacles, because it's going to help keep you on track and it's going to be beneficial to your overall success. The next step, in achieving, your goals here in 2023, start small and start now, right? Chances are, if you're working on a new goal, it's going to take time and energy, plus the focus that comes with it, that's going to be required for you to even be able to accomplish it, right? Now, this is really especially, I'm really speaking to, especially if it's outside of the goals that you set up for your 9 to 5 or your study hours. So you're likely to succeed if you start by making small changes, right now. Don't wait. Make those small changes now, and it'll help you get on the right path. It'll help get you in alignment to where you want to go. Now, research has shown that it can take anywhere between 20 to 60 days. All right. So we're talking about almost 3 months to change a habit or create a new one. 3 months. It can take anywhere from 20 days to 60 days. That's 3 months to change or create a habit. Now, if you set unrealistic goals or timelines, you're setting yourself up to fail. Point blank, period. Now, a lot of times, by doing this too, you also become unmotivated to even begin, because you're trying to take on the whole pie, the whole apple, right? We don't want to do that. One of the most common habits that I've tried to create with other clients and other people that I've done this before and kind of use this exercise with, is I've dedicated time to work on their goals, right? So myself, I sit there and I dedicate time to work on my goals. This is really critical to be able to set yourself up for success. For example, let's say your goal is to read the news every morning, right? Some of us still read the news, and you want to read it every morning before you head out to work. Now, achieving this goal will depend on your ability to wake up and make the time to read the news. Now, the first step, obviously, we think it could be overwhelming sometimes for many of us. You're changing up your whole routine. And you don't want to feel like this is becoming a task, to wake up, 30 minutes earlier every day. But what you can do, and what I've done, is start waking up 10 minutes earlier every day, right? It's not 30, it's 10. And this is just to get you towards that desired wake up time. So you want to build towards 30 minutes. We don't want to jump out there cold turkey, and that throws off everything. And then you lose the enthusiasm and you just quit your goal. Start with a 10-minute start in 10-minute increments, right? Then what you want to do is maintain that. You want to maintain that habit consistently. You want to do it every day of the week. That's right. I said every day of the week, Saturday and Sunday included. You know, that's when you're not working. You know, do this every day. This helps you achieve that goal that you set of wanting to read the newspaper, you know, before you head out to work every day. By incrementally, you know, creating a habit, now you're setting, you know, yourself up for future success. It's one less step to navigate, you know, your work for you to work on and reach your goal. And it will make you much more likely to reach it, you know? So work in increments, build up consistency, and more than likely you will reach and attain that goal and you'll maintain that goal. Okay. The last step and the last way that I'm going to talk about for you to achieve your goals here in 2023, celebrate your wins. You know, you got to give yourself some credit. You got to pat yourself on the back. You've made it. Heck, you've not even made it. You've done it. You should be proud of that. You should celebrate that, right? So you want to take the time finally to reflect and applaud yourself on your efforts. You know, not everything is going to go as planned each and every time. I get it. And we all know that. That's the human aspect. Curveballs, life happen, you know, but when you do take a moment to pause, sit back and evaluate, yeah, man, what went well? Man, that went well. That was great. Man, I never thought I'd be able to do that. And I was able to work through it. Give yourself kudos, you know. While you're doing that though, always keep, in your mind and in your notes, the things that actually didn't go well. Because that too now is, again, you can repeat the process and work on how you can improve those things maybe on your next goal, because they may show up again in your next goal, right? This way is a learning process. You learn a lot and you'll be better prepared for the next round, whether it be in your life, your career, or your business. I can't stress it enough, ladies and gentlemen, but you have to celebrate. You know, celebrating your accomplishments, it feels great. It releases that dopamine, in your brain, but it also reinforces, behaviors and habits that you need to accomplish the next goal you set for yourself. Many of the clients and people that I've worked with and had the opportunity to be around, who celebrate wins not only end up accomplishing more, but they also enjoy the process, which in turn has helped them, become more sustainable in their goal setting habits and in their business. Just remember, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you've got this. I hope you enjoyed today's, Two Mics Up Business Corner. I'm your man, Dave DNYDC. Make sure you go ahead, you hit the link below. Make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell so that you can be notified by all the newest content coming to you from me here at Two Mics Up, the show, Two Mics Up Business Corner. We're going to be coming back with Two Mics Up Kings Corner. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for tuning in. And like we always do at this time, ladies and gentlemen, may you stay safe, stay blessed. Mics out.
007.